Let's go over writer and director Rian Johnson when it comes to his new Star Wars trilogy. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, the new trilogy hasn't even begun its script yet. In fact, Rian Johnson and his producer Ram Bergman, they don't plan on developing the script until late 2018 and aim for completion in mid-2019. So we're not going to be able to see exactly what Rian Johnson has in store for a very long time. Now, I do know that there's a lot of trust issues when it comes to writer and director Rian Johnson ever since the release of The Last Jedi, and I will say that I am on edge about his set of Star Wars movies as well, for that specific reason of how certain decisions were made in The Last Jedi and the backlash it received. Now, looking at Rian, we've been hearing a lot from him lately these past couple of days, ever since the release of Solo: A Star Wars Story and the box office results. We're hearing more and more about the future of Disney Star Wars and their current projects, etc. And when it comes to Rian's trilogy, he will be ignoring the fans and ignoring the criticism. Now, this will be one of the pieces of his, ways of thinking, I guess you could say, while writing the script and directing the movies, is that he will be ignoring the fans and ignoring the criticism that he received from Star Wars: The Last Jedi. In fact, he actually went over not too long ago that he enjoys the criticism, which I don't really see how somebody could enjoy the criticism. But in case you guys haven't seen it, there is an older interview between Rian Johnson and an interviewer about one of his movies, where he goes over how he likes developing a movie where he splits the fans, where there's a group of people who absolutely hate the film, and there's also a group of people who absolutely love the movie. In case you guys haven't seen that, I'll try to find it and link it below in the description. And this is exactly what he did with The Last Jedi. If you look at it, the fans were pretty much divided. There are, a good chunk of people that enjoy this movie heavily, but there's a lot of people who really dislike it based on many decisions made by both Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson. Now, when it comes to his new trilogy, the fact that he will be ignoring the fans and ignoring the criticism that he received from The Last Jedi, I feel like that Rian Johnson should absolutely pay a whole lot of attention to the criticism that he got for The Last Jedi. I feel like that you could really learn a lot from some of the mistakes that were implemented in that movie. For me, the biggest mistake of all when it comes to The Last Jedi is the amount of time that we were actually in the casino city of Canto Bight. I felt like that whole entire sequence could have been shortened by 50%, maybe even more. I feel like that scene should have just been an in and out, quick, scene where they just get DJ, they leave, they get the Master Code Breaker, and they got him. I just feel like that part of the movie was one of the biggest mistakes by writer and director Rian Johnson, where that whole, segment could have been more time spent on both Rey and Luke Skywalker, especially Luke training Rey. And that's another thing that I want to touch on, is that Luke should have been training Rey a whole lot more in The Last Jedi. I feel like that Rey's training, to me, is just no comparison to Luke's training with Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back, and partially in Return of the Jedi, witnessing Yoda's death. So, looking at everything here that's coming into play with Rian Johnson's new trilogy, we have heard also recently, as I stated before in my last video, that his trilogy will be disconnecting from the universe as we all know it. And that, to me, directly lines up with the big rumor that's been going around for a couple of months now, that his new trilogy will be set in a new Star Wars galaxy. Also, not too long ago, we actually heard that Rian Johnson was changing things in his new trilogy before he begins writing the script. So this raises tons of questions, right? Exactly where are we going with this new trilogy? As far as tone goes, as far as destination goes, we really have no clue 100% here, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what he has to offer in the future. I'm honestly still quite surprised that with the backlash that The Last Jedi received, that Kathleen Kennedy is still allowing Rian Johnson to develop a new Star Wars trilogy. I guess in their mind, you know, the amount of backlash that The Last Jedi received is just a minority, because to them it seems like it's not a majority. But with Solo: A Star Wars Story's box office results, I think that proves it right then and there. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.